Hi guys, the Frugal Gal here. We are going to be cooking today. So let's make this recipe called Eggplant Skillet Pie. I did a video the other day where I had went to a discount grocery store and I bought two eggplants for $1.30. They were a little rough looking on the outside, but they're still good. I already fixed one in a different dish and froze that meal. So now we're going to use this eggplant. So for this recipe, this is what you're going to need. You're going to need some breadcrumbs, but what I'm using is matzo meal because I don't have any breadcrumbs. You're going to need some olive oil, some garlic. You could either use crushed garlic. I'm going to use garlic powder. You're going to need some basil, some oregano, some marjoram. Not margarine like butter, but marjoram the spice. See? Okay. And you're going to need salt and pepper. You're also going to need 3 eggs. And of course, an eggplant. You're going to need a mixing bowl. You're going to need a half a cup measuring cup, a fourth of a teaspoon measuring spoon, a half a teaspoon measuring spoon, and a tablespoon measuring spoon. You're going to need a potato masher, a knife, and a fork. So, what I'm going to do first is you're going to peel this eggplant. We're going to cut this part off and this part, and I'm going to peel this, and then I'm going to dice this up into small chunks. And we're going to do that right now. It's going to go like this. Voila! There is our cut up eggplant. I cut it up kind of like you would if you were going to boil some potatoes for mashed potatoes because we are going to be mashing this. So what we're going to do next is we're going to heat 2 tablespoons of our olive oil in our skillet. I'm using my electric skillet back here, and I'll be right back to show you that and what we're going to add to it. All right, here we are. We are going to take 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Let's turn on our skillet. Let's see, what can we turn it on to? I'm going to turn it on to about 250. Take 2 tablespoons. I got this handy dandy glass olive decanter, or oil decanter, olive oil decanter at Goodwill. I love it. It's so pretty. I've always wanted one of these. So, do that. Yeah, come on out. Okay, there we go. We're going to wait for that to get hot. While we're waiting for that to get hot, it shouldn't take very long in an electric skillet. We're going to say hi to Chicky back there. Hi, Chicky. Hi, Chicky. I'll tell you a little funny story about Chicky. Chicky has been with me for a while. It's actually my mom. She lets me put it in a lot of my different houses that I've lived in because I just love him so much. Usually he's on top of my refrigerator, but living in a travel trailer, you don't have a top of your refrigerator. But I love Chicky so much that when I split up with my husband, the night that I split up with my husband, I went downstairs because we'd gotten into an argument, and Chicky was up there with my ex-husband, and all I was worried about, and this tells you the state of my marriage, all I was worried about is, like I told my friend who I went downstairs into her apartment, was, oh, I hope he doesn't get a hold of Chicky and break Chicky. Wasn't worried that my 9-year marriage had just come to an end or that my husband was going to get arrested because I'd call the cops on him, but I was worried about Chicky. That tells you right there, the marriage was over. I do believe. Okay, we're going to, like I said, wait till that gets hot. Let's see. Looks like it's getting pretty hot. Let's get it all well coated. If you want to know if it's hot, take a little bit of water, sling it on your thing, see how it sizzle pops. It's hot. Let's put our eggplant in there. We're going to turn it down to a warm. And what we're going to do is we're going to add just a little bit of water to it, just enough so this eggplant does not soak up all this olive oil. See, it's going to soak it up right away and burn because we want it to cook, but we want it to cook slowly. So we're going to get some water. I'm just going to take the tablespoon that I used when I was doing the oil. Waste not, want not. Get enough water in there that it keeps it in a Nice little sizzle. That's stirred up. Yep, we always flip one out. It landed on the counter though. And you see how the eggplants turn a little brown. Don't worry about that. That's just the air hitting, like when apples do that. So we're going to put the lid on this, and we're going to cook this eggplant until it gets nice and soft. It just depends on, what heat you're cooking yours on. If you're using gas, if you're using electric, whatever. So I'm going to turn it up just a little bit more. It's a little more sizzly. And we'll come back and we'll do the next steps. Okay, our eggplant has finished. And I want to show you, you want it to where when you put the fork in it, it's going to mash up just like potatoes would. Now we're going to transfer this over to our mixing bowl, and we're going to mash it into the consistency, like I said, of mashed potatoes. And then I'll come back and show you what we're going to add to it. Be right back. Okay, we have mashed our eggplant. As you can see, it's to this consistency. You can mash it with a fork, but it was easier to mash with the potato masher. So now we're going to add our spices, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a half of a teaspoon of basil leaves. Half a teaspoon. We're going to do a half a teaspoon of the marjoram. We're going to do, since I'm using garlic powder, I'm going to do half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Well, actually, I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do about, not quite a half a teaspoon. Okay, then we're going to switch to our fourth of a teaspoon, and we're going to do a fourth of a teaspoon of oregano leaves. And you use salt and pepper to taste, so put in there what you think you would like. You could always salt it when you eat it, but eggplant is bitter, so you put some salt in there, it would cut down on that. I'm just going to sprinkle in a little bit of pepper. Everybody likes black pepper. I mean, everybody likes black pepper amounts differently. Then we're going to move this out of the way. And I'm working with limited space here. We're going to take our 3 eggs and put them in this bowl, crack them in a bowl. See how well I crack an egg. Woohoo, no shell. And what we're going to do is we're going to beat these eggs. We're going to beat them. We're going to beat them to the inch of their life. All right. Dish rag to my hands. And we beat the eggs, and we beat the eggs, and we beat the eggs. You just want them mixed together. Okay? Our bowl back. Put that in there. 3 beaten eggs. And then a half of a cup of your breadcrumbs, and I'm using matzo meal, but you can use breadcrumbs. A half a cup of that. Go. And then we're going to mix all that together, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Or I could just mix it on here. Okay. Well, you get the idea. I'll come back here in a second. Okay, we're back. We have our eggplant all mixed up. We've turned our skillet back on. Get enough olive oil or oil in your skillet to cover the bottom. Now, if you want to make this like pancakes, you can. I'm going to make it like just one big frittata. But you can do it however you want to. That's sizzling, so let's put our mashed up meal in here. Sorry for the lighting. It's starting to get dark outside. So we're going to put that in there. Use a spatula. Get all that out of the bowl. And also we're going to be using that spatula to spread it out. You want to spread it out to the edges of the pan, whether it's a round pan or a square like mine. Evenly, evenly, evenly. And we are going to let that cook on a medium-low heat until the edges start bubbling up to where we can flip it over. So I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so what I have done is I have waited till it got brown on the bottom. It should have got maybe a little browner. It probably would have if it went in an electric skillet, you know, because with an electric skillet it gets hot, then cools down. And I split it into 4 pieces. You can split it into smaller pieces and then flip it. And I'm going to let it cook the rest of the way through. Get a little browner on the other side. And then we're going to try it because it's the first time I've made this recipe and we'll see if it's any good. You never know till you try. Hi guys. Okay, so we're done with this new recipe I tried for this eggplant skillet pie. This is just half of a piece of it, and we're going to try it. I think it would probably browned up better if I'd used breadcrumbs, but I didn't have breadcrumbs, and I didn't even have any bread. I could have made breadcrumbs, so I used matzo meal, so you might want to use breadcrumbs, but hey, it's a vegetarian recipe. It's pretty healthy. You got your eggs for protein, and get rid of some eggplant if you have some. Maybe this summer you'll have some in your garden or something. And I won't lie to you, so I'm going to try it on camera. It's really hot. It's really steamy. It just came out of the skillet. So let me take a bite. I'm not the kind of person who can't eat food when it's just scalding hot. I just don't taste it well. So, let's see. Sorry, I'm probably blowing in the mic. Well, what it tastes like to me is if you've ever had fried zucchini, where you dip the zucchini, you cut it up, zucchini, and you dip it in egg and flour and put spices on it. That's pretty much what it tastes like. So it's pretty good. I mean, it's not like ooh, yummy. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. But for an eggplant, it doesn't have that bitter taste to it. I did put extra salt in it when in the mix because I tasted the mix to see if it was salty enough. And it's something that I would eat, yes. I would actually, this is a better way to make eggplant than I've made it before. I can say that because usually what I do is boil the eggplant. I've had eggplant parmesan too and make it into like a stew or something. But this is better this way, fried up. Now, tell you what would be good with it. I like onions. Onions would be good in this, and maybe some cheese. But of course then you make it unhealthy when you add cheese, but onions would be good in it. But this is good. It does just remind me of a, like fried zucchini. So there's the recipe for today, healthy vegetarian recipe. Join me for more videos. If you'd like to see more cooking videos, let me know. I have a small kitchen to cook in, but I'll cook you up some more stuff. Bon appetit. Pretty good. Alright, talk to you guys later. Bye.